What's up, members of the barrio? It's John coming to you from Washington Square Park in the beautiful Greenwich Village. And today I'm going to answer a question that I have received so many times. How hard is it to make friends in New York City? And not only am I going to be answering that question, I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can make friends, either if you're visiting New York or more likely if you're actually moving here. So first, a little background about myself. I moved to New York City almost 8 years ago from the other side of the Hudson River, northern New Jersey. So I had a couple of big advantages built in when I came here. The first was I already had a roommate, my twin brother. So that was already someone who I could hang out with. The second was that most of my New Jersey friends were happy to come hang out in New York City, basically every weekend if I wanted that. Now, I still did go ahead and made plenty of friends on this side of the Hudson in New York City, but I'm just gonna say that some people have it a little bit easier based on circumstances like that. Now, let's get to this list, the 10 ways that you can make friends in New York. And if I missed anything, tell me down below in the comments. There's tons of ways to meet people if you're new to New York City. This first one, it might not sound too obvious on the surface, but take a tour. Like, even take a free walking tour if you just move here, or on the flip side, if you're visiting New York, free walking tours by foot is a great one. My twin brother and I actually hung out with some people that we went on a walking tour with many years ago when we had just moved here, and I think it's a great way, especially if you're traveling, to meet other people in a similar situation. That being said, if you're new here, you might meet other new residents of New York City who also want to meet people, so those walking tours give you a lot of time to socialize while you're moving between different points, and you also learn more about this amazing city. The next option, Facebook. There are so many Facebook groups out there if you search. I was looking before. I mean, they have everything from like New York events to New York partying to Australians living in New York. Whatever it is you're looking for, whatever that interest is, especially if you're new here, I think you could find many groups on Facebook that cater to you. There's also many different like social events going on through Facebook. You can look up events that are happening in New York, free events, many times with free alcohol. A great way to go out, socialize, and make some new friends. Number 3, this is a good one, volunteering. And there's a couple of ways you could do this in New York City, whether you're visiting or moving here. One is the Bowery Mission, and I believe they have some sort of a program where you can meet other young people and, you know, you have a common bond of giving back, which is a great basis of any friendship. Another great opportunity is the Holy Apostles Soup Kitchen. Shameless plug, we actually did a video about them already on this channel. And there's a wide variety of people that volunteered there. I even met some travelers, so I think that it would especially be interesting if you were in New York for a short period of time to possibly make some friends through volunteering there, or many other organizations that would happily take you on in New York City. This one might not sound too obvious, but if you move to New York and you get roommates, maybe one of the things you're looking for is not only a roommate who's not going to annoy you, but potentially someone that you actually have something in common with. I've met many people who came to New York, and the first people that they ended up hanging out with were roommates, new people to the city as well. You all want to explore, you live in the same place. Maybe it's a friendship of convenience, maybe it's not, but it's definitely a good idea to try to make friends with your roommates, especially if they've been here a long time. They could also introduce you to other people, which brings me to the next point. Through other friends. This is by far the easiest way to make friends in New York if you already know people here. What's the old saying? Opportunities multiply as they are seized. So you make one friend through your roommate, they could introduce you to a new group of people, or you have just one friend from college who lives in New York, well, go hang out with them, and hopefully if you were friends with them, they know similar people, they know people that you would most likely get along with, so it's a pretty easy transition there to make friends just through other friends you already have in New York City. Not gonna work for everybody, but for some people. I feel like I'm doing a real world style confessional right now. I've got my camera mounted on a little fence in the park and people are just walking by me staring like, who is this crazy guy? I am very crazy. Next on the list is shared interests. And I can give you a very easy example of this from my own experience. My boy Tom, my boy Jacob, fellow YouTubers, we share an interest in video production, in YouTube. We would go out and shoot videos together, but it doesn't have to be making friends with fellow YouTubers. My wife Adriana, she loves illustration, and guess what? She's made some friends now who are into illustration. They can go to the same sorts of events together. As long as you have a common interest with somebody, you can definitely find a way to network with those people, and I think that, you know, friendships would be a very easy thing that would come out of having those sorts of shared interests. All right, this is one that I haven't tried myself. I was just looking up some ideas of making friends in New York. So you've heard of the dating app Bumble. There's something called Bumble BFF, which is strictly to make friends. Now, my brother said that he's heard of girls meeting each other through it. I don't know if it works the same way with guys trying to make friends with each other. It could. Give that a shot. You're strictly going on an app, not looking for a significant other or someone to date, but just someone you could be friends with. So give that a shot and tell me down below in the comments if it works for you. I'm actually a little bit curious. Oh, I love the honking of New York. Just natural background. We've got honking on one side. We have someone playing a big trombone on the other. Never a dull moment in Washington Square Park. Meetup.com. This is an excellent way to find other people in New York City. They have a lot of social events, so it kind of depends on what you're interested in and what you're doing, but Meetup has just like New York singles, New York people in their 20s. It also has many varieties of interest. If you want to learn a new language, Meetup.com has plenty of language exchanges through there. I've been curious about doing some Spanish-English language exchange. My wife's Mexican, so it's a little bit easier maybe to do that with her. But you know, if you're looking for just one website to find different events with other like-minded individuals who also want to make new friends, Meetup.com is a great one. Not just in New York, actually in other cities as well. And I'm going to throw another bonus website out there right now, couchsurfing.com. I used to be more active in it, not so much anymore. But if you love traveling, you want to meet other travelers, you want to meet people coming through New York or other locals who enjoy just doing many activities, you know, couchsurfing.com has picnics, other events throughout the year. So definitely sign up for that and you know, see what's going on in New York City. All right, this one is going to sound a little bit weird, but just go with it. Bars. A lot of bars, and I'm not just saying go to bars, drink by yourself, and hope that you can make friends. Although if you're really social, that could work with you. I've noticed people in New York are very open about chatting with anybody at a bar. So don't put that method, you know, beyond you. But for most people, that would be a little bit challenging. I would say go to a bar when they have trivia nights. That's one way. You know, you could make friends with new people, and they also like the same types of trivia as you, perhaps. Oh, we got jazz music starting to play. I don't need to play music anymore. We just got this going. Another one is sporting events at bars. One of my good friends, Steve, shout out to him if he's watching, he would go watch, I believe, the New Orleans Saints at the same bar, and you have something automatically in common with these people who are living in New York. You like the same sports teams. So if you like the same sports teams, you have a lot to chat about. You can go watch games together at the bar and then maybe, you know, hang out with them afterwards. So bars are not a bad place to meet friends if you know what you're doing. Sporting leagues. Shout out to my friend Evan, who was in my Harlem video. He's the one who told me about this. I've just been too lazy to play sports in New York, too busy. I should play some sports, actually. There's a couple of different groups that do this. One is called NYC Social. The other one is called Zog Sports. And what's great about these co-ed leagues is that, you know, you join a team, let's say it's kickball, let's say it's softball, and then they build in this social element to it where you go to a bar after and you play beer pong, you play flip cup. This might be geared more towards people in their 20s and 30s, but it's a great way to meet people. You're just playing a casual game like kickball, which I think most people aren't taking that seriously, but you also are all open to meeting others as an added bonus. I've heard that it's a good way to get a boyfriend, get a girlfriend, and you're gonna meet someone that likely is physically active, so there's just so many pluses on that. I think that's actually one of the best ways to meet people in New York if you have the time and the energies. Join one of these co-ed sports leagues. So one of my favorite free things to do in New York City is to watch jazz bands and other performers in Washington Square Park, because this park is so small. You come here, you're almost guaranteed to see somebody performing. Or in Central Park, you might have to run around a little bit to find musicians. And if you make new friends, take them to Washington Square Park. Good place to picnic and hang out. But guys, tell me down below in the comments what you thought of my list of ways to make friends. You know, if you live in New York, how have you made friends? Has it been difficult for you? Why or why not? I think that obviously the transient nature of New York City makes it easy to meet new people, but hard to maintain those friendships. So it's a little bit tough. All right, guys, check out my other New York City playlist link down below. Got a lot of cool content coming out this summer, things to do in New York when you visit or if you're moving here. Guys, thank you so much for watching as always. Until next time.